People trying to say I'm only in the meeting. Got a code with my dogs, can get in between. I can give them life, no more energy. Amen.
What's up, everybody? I'm finally back. Sort of. Still not in the country, but chilling at the hotel. Thought it's about time for me to get back in the streaming game. I know JJ's been holding down the fort, but it's good to be back. JJ, how we feeling?
It's about damn time you back.
Well, I'm not back yet, but back on stream.
You back on stream. You know, we making it work.
I've been itching. I told you there was the one stream that you and Austin did where my phone was dead all day. I came back, and for whatever reason, I thought I told you I was ready to stream. So I got back excited. I got back. You guys are already live. And I was like, well, probably for the better because my phone was dead all day. But no, I miss you guys. Miss JJ, miss everybody in the chat. But game starts soon. Thursday night football. Let's get into it. Obviously, division matchup, Seattle, Arizona. They played a million times. Seattle's kind of had their number. It hasn't looked good for Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Is there anything specific that because it's the same defensive coordinator for the Seahawks? Like that part didn't change in the whole regime change. So what specifically from previous games at least is standing out for you?
I think we're probably just gonna see a lot of too high in general. Everything downfield, they're gonna try and limit. At least that's the plan. But, I know a lot of people are thinking maybe Marvin can kind of do something here. And I know you was kind of looking at it. Go ahead and talk about it.
Dude, he's getting clowned for like dropping passes. But I think what's being overlooked is like he's wide open. He had to get open in the first place to drop these passes. I think drop passes are like the least sticky stat ever. Like eventually, if you're good enough to get open and get targets to get the chance to drop a pass, you're an NFL receiver. Eventually, you're going to start connecting. And those 25-yard wide open routes that are turning into targets that he's dropping, they're just going to turn into 50-yard touchdowns. And everybody's going to stop clowning him. It's going to be like, obviously this is different because it's not year one. But you remember when Jamar Chase was like first coming into the league? Everybody was panicking. Everybody was dropping balls in preseason. It feels like that. Obviously to a more extreme extent because it's year two. And like this has kind of been an issue. But like I like the way they're using him this year much more than last season. I think Matt Harmon, for those who don't follow him, he put out a great I don't remember if it was an article or a video, but he broke it down in terms of how different his route tree is this year. Some subtle stuff, but it makes a big difference. So I do like that. It's really just like put two hands on the ball and everything's going to be fine. Like his lines are ridiculously low, and I understand why. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I want to bite. I really do.
Yeah, when it's like a solid like sprinkle a little bit down, see if something pops off, They're eventually they have to use them. Like they have to. It's just, do I have the confidence in him to put like a full unit on him? Probably not, but I feel like he probably put somewhere like a little like small ladder.
Yeah.
Just because, these corners are now finally healthy. So this secondary, and then you got this front four that has just been unstoppable.
You can get to the front four because I know we disagree a little bit on the front four.
Yeah, the front four, they've been getting pressure at a ridiculous rate without blitzing. I think bottom 5 blitzing, but like top 5 or top 6 in pressure rate. I love when I look at the run game, I love seeing how these linebackers are moving, how they're filling the gaps because they play light boxes, I believe, by another like top 6 or 8. And I just watched the film on every carry from all 3 weeks, and I'm just very impressed with these linebackers. I mean, what are you seeing?
I came into the season. I was like, I think the Seahawks defense is being slept on. I think it's good. I still stand by that. I think I put it. Ricky Pearsall was my first write-up. I even said in that write-up that I'm high on the Seattle defense. I still remain high, but less so you. But like some of the write-ups that I've seen of like people talk about the Cardinals and Seahawks leading up to this game, I feel like people have overcorrected a lot. Like people are acting like this is like the Broncos defense that won the Super Bowl against Cam Newton. Like it's good. It's definitely an above average defense. I'd probably still say top 10. But people are like, oh yeah, you can't. You don't even think about getting a first down on this defense. It's like we need to calm down. I think they're good. I think they're fine. I'm not the Arizona offensive line either, but I also think that offensive line has to regress. Like they're playing at a level that's so bad it's not even reasonable. It has to correct. So, is it going to happen this game? Probably not the matchup for it, but I'm not ready to crown the Seahawks defense, specifically the front seven, as the gods that everybody is saying that they are, especially because the teams that they played so far, Pittsburgh, who's an Arthur Smith-led offense, I'm not giving Arthur Smith any credit for anything. The 49ers, who has been swept under the rug, but their offensive line has been really bad so far this season, more so in the run game. And who's the last team I'm blanking on?
Saints.
Yeah, we're not Saints personnel. So will I bite my words by the end of the season? Probably. I don't know if bite my words is the right thing to say. Maybe.
No, because you're still pretty high on the defense. It's just you don't think they're at that next level yet, you know?
Yeah, it's just because it's an island game. I think people are exaggerating some things. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
We got some people in the chat. Marvin, 100 plus receiving yards is plus 1,000 with 50% boost. I'd do that. Like I'll let you get into your JSN pick, but if you lose that JSN pick, I think it's going to be because Marvin has a stupid game. Like I don't think it's going to be Trey McBride or somebody else. So I'll let you get into that, and then we'll carry on the Marvin debate since I brought it up.
Yeah, I mean, JSN, just like Puka, they're putting up video game numbers at this point. When you look at their stats, the only two players right now above 4 yards per route run, like that is absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, Cooper Cup season wasn't even. I think it was like what 3.2 yards per route run.
Yeah,
like 4 yards per run is fuck, and it's not like based on a coverage. That's just their normal yards per run. It's absolutely insane.
No, it's ridiculous.
I think JSN for 100 plus makes sense. I played that last week in a parlay that ended up missing because he had 94, and then it was such a big blowout that they just didn't throw the ball the second half.
Yeah, it was well on pace to go over. But yeah, 100 plus makes a ton of sense here. What I took was to lead the game in receiving yards. I felt like still had better odds for that. But if I wanted to take JSN outside of that, I would just take 100 plus. Honestly, I think this game will be much more competitive than the Saints game. He's actually, they're actually gonna throw the ball in the second half more. But yeah, I mean, at 84, it's like you might as well just take the plus money for 100 plus. Like he's done it in 2 out of 3 games. He was 4 yards short last week in that blowout.
5 yards.
5. Yeah. So you might as well take the 100 plus.
I mean, dude, the usage he's getting is absolutely it's not like he's throwing the ball 40 times and JSN is getting 10 targets for 100 air yards. It's like he's throwing the ball 25 times. JSN's getting 14 targets and like 100 or like 80% of the air yards. It's unbelievable shit.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I think we just thought it was because Justin Jefferson is Justin Jefferson last year, and that's why Sam Darnold kept feeding him. It might be a Sam Darnold thing. It really might, where he's just like, yeah, I'm just going to throw it to my number one guy. He's probably going to be open somewhere. And it's worked out so far. Oh, yeah. No, it's not a slight at him. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I thought it would like fade off a little bit, like looking at last year's stuff. Like, there's no way he's going to keep this up, right? But so far he has. And I think right now he's leading in EPA per drop pack.
Is he actually?
I think so.
Yeah, isn't it like him, Daniel Jones, and one other quarterback? I think somebody made a joke that it was Kevin O'Connell was like the reviving coach for all washed quarterbacks. Zach Wilson's next.
I don't know about that one, but
New York thing.
There's only so much wash you can deal with.
The Seattle offense looked good. This is not a defense I expected to stop that. I don't know if I expect this to be a shootout. I think this is going to be like, it's going to sound weird, but like for NBA, when there's like the Hornets versus Wizards, when you're not expecting good basketball, but you're expecting just a lot of basketball. That's kind of what I expect for this. I don't think it's going to be a defensive masterclass. I don't think it's going to be an offensive masterclass. I just think there's going to be a lot of shit going on, and I'm kind of excited to see it. Yes, I will be up at 2 a.m. for the start of this game watching the whole thing like I have been the entire time.
And I posted a link to the tweet that, yeah.
Is this for the JSN stuff or?
For Darnold. So adjusted EPA per play leaderboard. So between EPA and PFF, he's number one right now. Then Dak, then Daniel Jones, Josh Allen, and then Stafford rounds out the top 5.
Send it to me on WhatsApp. I can put it on the screen here.
Bet.
While you're doing, or while I'm waiting on you to do that, we'll get into the next comment. I think the running back play for Benson 20 plus, I assume it's receiving yards, is decent too. Dude, I mean,
I like that a lot.
I've just been allowing so many explosive plays in the pass game to running backs, which is why we disagreed on Benson's rush yards. I know we got into the argument about the matchup a little bit with you taking the under and me taking the over, but I took the over rushing plus receiving because of this receiving upside. I mean, I think I looked up like of the last 15 running backs with 3+ targets, which he's pretty much is his floor in this one. 13 of them have had 20 or more receiving yards. The 2 remaining ones were backups where the starters soared over 20 yards. I think over half of them had 30 receiving yards. So like the upside is big on his receiving yards. And then you watch Benson play, dude. He moves so well. He moves so fluid. It's really hard to tackle him if, like, for most players, they make a cut, you're on your feet, you can wrap their legs, they try and cut around you. You can't do that with Benson. I think in the man gap scheme, which he's running like 60% of the time, I hope I'm remembering this stat right because it was ridiculous when I saw it. He's averaging negative 0.1 yards before contact and 4.6 yards after contact per attempt. So it's like if the offensive line gives him the slightest little most sliver of help, it's an explosive play waiting to happen. So the fact that he's running that efficiently with negative yards before contact per attempt is fucking insane. Again, not the best matchup, but he's been doing it with no help already anyways. Yeah. Just my thoughts. But the whole point is he's an explosive ass runner, and if he's at 12 carries for 20 yards, 140-yard play, like that's kind of what he does. So I don't know. Well, we can argue about that further if you want to, but I think they get the point.
No, they get the point.
We're not very often on different sides of things, so it is fun when it happens.
Yeah. No, but I really like his receiving. I think because with the Seattle defense, when I'm just watching them on film, they're taking everything away, like on the intermediate routes across the middle of the field, even with that too high. So it's like the weaknesses so far, like the points that teams have been attacking is like towards the sidelines on like those little curl routes or out routes, or just, those little short crossers across the middle, just the checkdowns.
Is it kind of like the Packers defense, or would you say it's different where they kind of give you that check down?
Not to the extent of the Packers, but that I would say has some similarities there.
Yeah. I know, because I know the Packers kind of what they do is they say, hey, don't even think about throwing a deep ball. Just throw this check down and we're going to go get you.
Yeah.
But here's the Sam Darnold graphic you were talking about where he's leading the NFL in EPA per play, EPA per play plus PFF blend. So it's Darnold at 1, Prescott at 2, Daniel Jones at 3. Tyrod Taylor's at 6. I did not expect that one. Bo Nix.
There was never going to be that much of a drop off when Fields went out. It's kind of how I saw it. And, I think he performed decently here.
Where is Fields in this graphic?
I do not think he's there.
Yeah, I don't think he's in this graphic. But yeah, no, Sam Darnold's been very good. Kyler Murray, 13, not horrible. I will say it seems like everybody's like it almost seems obvious that the Cardinals are going to lose this game to the point where I mean the books opened them as favorites, the Cardinals as favorites, and then eventually money steamed it to Seahawks as slight favorites. That's I don't want to say concerning to me because I'm not even on the Seahawks. I'll say it's telling because there's a reason that they thought the Cardinals were the favorite because everything I feel like everything that we could think to look at would say the Seahawks. I
Yeah.
think me and you will both agree that they have the better personnel. Their coaches have put together a better team through 3 weeks. Seahawks have the better history against them. Kyler Murray has historically not done good in primetime or in divisional games against the Seahawks. So there has to be something that the books are seeing or that they know where they thought the Cardinals should have been a favorite to begin with. And I hate the books know. They just always know something. I don't necessarily agree with that. But when it's that egregious, it's either, oh, somebody was a really big idiot setting this line, or somebody's missing something. I
Yeah.
don't know which one it is. I feel like with I spreads, I don't look at in as much volume as I do props. I feel like for props, it's easier to say they made a mistake, but spreads, they've been doing it for so long, and I haven't been doing it enough to say, oh no, they just screwed up. But I don't know. What's your take on the situation?
Yeah, I think because I was telling you earlier before the stream, it's like everything I see with Seattle is just it just looks like straight Delta ass. Pretty much at every level. Like the strength, I would say, of the Cardinals would be their pass blocking. But now you're facing a really good pass rush so far. It's like, which one's going to give? And then can you trust Kyler in these moments right now, knowing his history against Seattle? I mean, facing a pretty much familiar defense, and now a secondary that's healthy. You lose James Conner, he's going to have to make some plays with his legs here. I don't think there's no doubt about it.
I agree.
Without that, I think if he doesn't make plays with his legs, they're going to lose.
But so then the question is, do we think he makes plays with his legs? I kind of do.
No, because he will, but then he won't. I would say the way he's going to do it is extend plays. But I don't know if he's actually going to go out there and go get you some rushing yards, which I think is going to be more important.
You got some comments in the chat for you.
I appreciate it.
I think it's less that I think he's going to go off and break 70 rushing yards. I just think even if he does it too soon sometimes, I think he's just going to break plays open. Like it's going to lead to a bunch of broken plays where he's scrambling out. And that's another reason I think Marvin does have a decent game, because I feel like that's kind of when he gets the most open, is like, oh, broken play. Marvin's running a corner route that eventually one of the DBs lost sight of, and now he's 5 yards deeper than the DB thought he was, and now he's open.
Yeah.
I feel like
I think it's going to be important for him to get the ball when they're not in press coverage. Those are going to be the moments they have to take advantage of. And like when it go back to Kyler, I don't need him to get like crazy rushing yards, like 70 plus. I need him to go be like Jalen Hurts and go get those first downs,
Yeah.
Extend those drives.
All right, I have a hypothetical for you I just thought of. Obviously, Marvin's issue hasn't been getting open. It's been making catches. We've seen like coaches like Liam Cohen talk about getting playmakers the ball early to get them in the flow of the game. Even Tom Brady has said that after he's retired. What is the likelihood they just run him a couple of slants and screens just to get him going in the flow of the game, and then suddenly he's in rhythm and he's good the rest of the game? And now that 30-yard deep ball in the third quarter does get completed.
Yeah, I think first drive they have to get him at least 2 targets. Yeah. I think he's gonna have to find a way to get going. I mean, he spent the draft capital on him last year. Had a disappointing year, especially with how they used him. Now they're using him better, and now he just needs to catch the ball.
Yeah, and I saw the Bucks rookie. I'm blanking on his name because it's too late. But he was teammates with Marvin Harrison, and like he was on the Adam's show, and he was asked about it, and he straight up said like zero hesitation, zero stress in his voice. Like didn't seem like it was rehearsed at all. He's like, "Oh, I'm not worried about Marv. Like I play with him. He'll be fine." And I mean, like I think like yes, he was obviously highly drafted, and that's why we're talking about him. But like he's good. He's good. He hasn't shown it yet. Like we know it's in his bag. We just need to get it out of the bag.
Yeah.
Short week
And I
on
think
prime time. Everybody's counting him out. I feel like it's just inevitable.
next week is going to be the breakout game.
Who does he play next week? Haven't looked ahead that far yet.
Titans.
Yeah, could be. Could be. What do you think about McBride then? I guess that's a big one that we haven't talked about at all. We talked about pretty much everybody else.
Yeah, I feel like everybody already knows about McBride at this point.
It's just tight end against the Seahawks, dude.
Titans against Seahawks, yeah. Just he's gonna be one of those underneath targets. He's gonna be like a yak guy. But someone that's like intriguing here is like Greg Dortch. You know, Zay Jones is out. You got to think he takes at least some of those snaps, but he plays in the slot, and they don't usually run a lot of 11 personnel. But he's a perfect yak guy.
Well, I guess you were just talking about the Seahawks not allowing a lot of the intermediate stuff with Michael Wilson.
And Michael Wilson's going to be the deep threat.
I
know a lot of people are on him.
So for McBride, what is the way? Like, if he misses, do you think it's because Seattle like made a game plan around him, or is it the coach schemed him up too deep, or are they using him as a decoy? Like, obviously the matchup is so golden. In terms of it's so obvious something's gonna kill it. What would you say it is?
I would have to think scheme.
Yeah, I feel like it would be like a decoy for Marvin. I'm really high on Marvin today for no it has nothing to do with matchup for no good reason. I've just seen nothing but him getting shit on every social media platform for the entire week. Yeah. I just feel like it's coming. I don't know. But I mean, yeah, it's a Thursday night game. Something weird always happens. It always does every Thursday. One thing me and JJ have noticed lately is for the primetime games, obviously there's for years it's kind of been nerfed in terms of betting on it, but betting the under on primetime games, it always starts slow and picks up in the second half. Usually it's like 9-6 or like 12-3 or 14-3. So there's too much ground to make up in the second half to cash the over. But like I feel like every over I've cashed in a primetime game so far this season has been like, 3 yards in the first half, I guess we're cooked. And then it's like 3 30-yard catches in the second half, shit like that. Yeah. So things clearly pick up as the game carries on. It's some weird, just terrible play calling happens in the first half every time. I think part of it is because they don't have as long during the week to prepare for it. So some of the preparation is literally happening during the game. Like you can't see how they react to this.
It's a huge part of it. You do not have time to game plan, rest, recovery. All that is very important, and you don't get that on a short week.
I think I saw somebody break down last year. They're like, the first 2 drives are used as like in a normal game. The first 2 drives are basically a game of I'm going to do this. Let's see what you do in return on both sides for the offense and the defense. So then for these Thursday night games with shorter weeks, it's probably like, okay, maybe it's 3 or 4 drives instead, where it's just, you're not like, obviously the goal is to score, but it's less about, I need to score on this drive. It's more just, I want to see what you do when I do this. So then when it's close to the fourth quarter, I can get you. And I think that's just what we're seeing a lot. So
yeah,
what's the weird thing we're expecting in this one?
I guess the weird thing we're expecting. Kyler performing well would be the weird thing I'm expecting.
If he performs well, do you think it's a first half thing where it like pops off and then eventually Seattle, he's like, you did this, I'm going to do this? Or do you think it's the other way around?
I would have to go with option 1 probably.
Damn, I was gonna say the second one. We're just complete opposite today, aren't we?
Yep.
We
That's
got
what makes it
Tony in the
interesting.
chat. Oh, everybody go follow Tony. Tony Sense on Twitter. We've been telling him to make a capping account for the last 2 years. He finally
Yes.
made one. Posted his first play the other day. Trey McBride over receiving yards. Everybody go show love to him. Go follow him if you haven't already. But he also said he's expecting the under in this one. Can't hold you. That's kind of what I was saying earlier when I was like, I'm not expecting great offense or great defense. I just think we're going to see a lot of entertaining football. And I don't really have much promise it's going to lead to 60 points. I just think it's going to be fun to watch. Hopefully I'm right. But yeah, well, before we get into our primetime parlay, we'll go over our picks themselves. So for me, I only have one, and it contradicts directly what one of JJ's are. I'm on Trey Benson over rushing receiving. I actually got a bad line. I got 85.5 when it opened. I knew I wasn't going to get COV, but the line got steamed down the opposite direction a little bit more than I would have liked. Let's see what it's at now. 79.5 to 81.5, depending on what book you are. I think he's going for 100. You guys heard my reasoning. I just think he's fucking ridiculously good. He's going to have 80% usage. And I think whilst the Seahawks defense is good, I think they've been overperforming a little bit. So that's my 2 cents. That's my only play because I dealt with a bunch of travel issues today. Didn't get a chance to look too deeply into other stuff. JJ, give us your shit.
Yeah, so with Trey Benson, I took the under on his rushing. You know, I actually am a believer of this Seattle defense for what I've been seeing on film. But I do agree with your receiving part of it. All those underneath looks, I think there's going to be a lot of feeding the checkdowns. And they have been notorious the past 2 years of running backs getting targeted against them. So I do like that angle. But yeah, what's the other part I was looking for?
JSN.
Yeah.
Well,
I was
looking
for this one stat. I mean, yeah, so far I've been second best in rushing yards over expected per attempt, second best in EPA per rush allowed, and fourth fewest yards after contact per attempt. And I know you're mentioning how well he does after contact because the offensive line and run blocking was poor. So I thought that was very important. And it's like, I love the way they fill the gaps with the linebackers. I mean, it's been ridiculous. And I mean, the Arizona defense or Seattle's defense, I just think overall that with them finally being healthy, I think they're going to put on a show here. Arizona, I know people were mentioning how they're kind of run heavy, but that has not been the case post bye last year. I think it was like week 12.
A lot this year.
Yeah, I think they're fourth in pass rate over expectation this year, and post bye last year to end the season was sixth highest. But before that, they was super run heavy, so they completely changed their play calling after that bye week. And with Connor being gone, he took like 6 of the 8 backfield carries, but I think he's gonna be more involved in the receiving game here. I think they will use Amari and maybe Bam will get 1 or 2 carries. I'm not expecting a whole lot from him, but I think they will lean towards Amari a little bit more than people expect because Gannon was talking about how they don't want to change much with what they're doing in the run game. So I'm assuming Benson's just going to take Connor's role. Amari's going to take Benson's old role. It's kind of how I'm looking at it.
Benson's old role last year or this year?
This current, yeah.
Oh, so you're expecting him to take more snaps than I thought. Because Benson took 85. What was it? 80, 79, 85? I saw two different numbers posted by 2 different people. One of them said 79% of snaps. One of them said 85 after Connor went down.
No, I'm talking about before all that. Week 1. Look at week 1, week 2. What was Trey Benson's role?
Yeah, but Trey Benson was getting more than 20% And correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm just going off the top of my head. He was getting more than 20% snap share during those weeks.
Yeah, so Trey Benson is going to get the James Conner role, right? He got about 67% of the rushing share those first 2 weeks. James Conner.
I'm saying I thought Benson was going to be getting more than that 67% now.
No, based on what the coach speak was, it seems like they kind of want to stick with how they're already running things.
We'll see then. Let's just hope he goes for like 50 receiving yards. Yeah. Everybody can be happy.
And then, my final play, JSN, most receiving yards. I mean, he's mini Puka at this point right now, right? He might be the OG Puka after this season. We'll guess we'll find out.
All right, I put his games up on the screen so far from the new website. It's currently in beta. Will soon be available to more people. But as you can see, let me zoom in a little bit. This is an 84.5 receiving yards line. He's had 96, 103, and 124 in those games. 87 air yards. Again, really only played the first half. 103 receiving yards against Pittsburgh and 178 against San Francisco. Targets, we're looking at 6 again, one half, 10 and 13. Targets of 15 plus yards, at least 2 in each game, 8 in the first game of the season. This is ridiculous usage, guys. Like, this is absolutely absurd. And I can look to see how some of it was last year, but we can also see in terms of what coverage he's facing. Cover 2, 4, and 6 are the 2 high looks that JJ was talking about. And I mean, JSN loves those deeper in breaking routes, so that's pretty cover 2 friendly if you ask me. So it doesn't surprise me at all. Passing yards per game allowed. Arizona is the second worst defense, allowing 275.3 per game. It's just it's open season against these guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks pretty damn good for JSN. We haven't projected 76.39 here. Gotta say, I think it goes higher than that. We'll see. This is the thing,
especially because he only played half a game, basically receiving last week. So
I do think this is where I like your bet over just taking his receiving yards lines. Is once you get into like the 80s, like the Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson territory of receiving lines, it's like, all right, how. Like that's where you can make the right read and still miss the bet. And those are the worst, where it's like one drive where he gets a bad hit and leaves, comes back 5 plays later. Like that might be it for you. That could decide the bet. Like it's really, the margin of error is pretty slim, even if you have the right read. So it makes it a little bit tough. But the most receiving yards in the game, I think it's like if he gets 75, he's probably hitting still, and that's basically a 10-yard discount on his line. I think his line's 84.5. Did I make that up?
No, it's at 84.5. Okay. At least it should be still.
Ooh, Trey Benson steamed up on DK to 84.5. I know JJ is shaking. All right, let's get into this parlay. We can choose the winner, or we can choose the over or the game total. Where are you leaning?
It's either Seattle money line or taking the under, just because it's the prime time.
Yeah.
Divisional game as well could make it interesting.
What's the over-under set at? I guess I never looked at that total. 43.5. Oh, I thought I was hoping we get like a 46.5. 43.5. That's a 24-20 game. Still gets you.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a ridiculous amount of public money on the Seahawks right now?
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Let's see. I'll pull it up right now. Oh God. 74% of bets are on the Seahawks, according to Pickett. What's really telling is on the spread, 70% are on the Seahawks, but 60% of the money is on the Seahawks. That 10% gap is usually like where I feel like you can see where the more sharp money is, where the bigger money is. So it seems like more of that money is on Arizona on the spread, which they're +2. At that point, guys, please just take the money line. I think the money line splits are what they are because of the fact that the Seahawks opened as dogs. I think the spread is more indicative of when it actually settled as Seahawks at like -1.5. I feel like that's more likely. Over under is pretty split. It's like 54-46.
If you're taking all under, how high would you put it?
An all under depends what the odds are for like a 57.5. Or not 47.5, sorry. That was about to be wild.
Yeah, he's about to get some very bad odds.
Hey, some cappers, not going to name names, some cappers are doing that. Dude, there's somebody in the comments, like, he's like, oh, 6-0 sweep today. And he posts like 6 leg parlays that are like -600 legs. And they, in his defense, they add up to like -110 plays. Like when he sweeps, like he technically won't want to know. And he's fairly profitable. So I don't want to give him too much hate because he is fairly profitable. But then he doesn't promote it as like, oh, we hit our parlay. He promotes it as a 6-0 sweep. And it really bugs me. It really bothers me.
That's definitely not a 6-0 sweep.
Dude, I can't find this game total category on OddsJam. What's wrong with me? Oh, hold on. I think I found it. Total points. Here we go. We can get 44 on some books if I find the all under. How much time do we have? 30 minutes until the game. Let's do this. Where are the all unders? Here we go. Under 47.5. We can get -185. For a 3-leg parlay piece, I don't hate that. Because we're also going to have reverse correlation with a touchdown prop in there, so I don't really mind it.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that. What do you want our prop of the day to be? I feel
like we would both agree something JSN probably, right?
Probably. I think, does FanDuel let you parlay that? I forget. Can you check on that for me? While I'm also researching the touchdown stuff in the back right now. Right, so Seattle, you want to target passing touchdowns against them. I feel like we've talked about this before. For Seattle, you want to target passing touchdowns. This is already, let me put in the red zone. Let me see where Seattle was getting killed in the red zone last year. I'm almost certain it was tight ends, to be fair.
I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, just knowing them, it doesn't take a genius. Just as long as you've been watching football for more than 3 weeks, you pretty much know what the vibes are with them. Do we have confidence in a Trey McBride touchdown, though? That's the question.
That's always a tough thing. I still got nightmares from last year with that.
Yeah, 8th highest inline target rate this season. And last season, I think it was even higher. Inline in terms of inline tight ends, for what it's worth, just in case that wasn't clear to anybody. The alternative, let's see. Oh, they were actually pretty middle of the pack against inline tight ends last year. What about slot, middle of the pack? This is surprising, actually. What about Arizona? I don't know if I want to do Kenny Walker touchdown with Sharp in the mix. I think that scares me a little bit.
That does scare me.
Arizona allowed a lot. They were top 10 in both slot rate and inline target rate. So has Jason been running any from those areas or not really when it comes to the red zone?
I've not checked yet.
I can check real quick. I just wasn't sure if you knew off the top. Advanced receiving. That's the other hard part with JSN is we're betting on a pretty like high prop. Like we basically need 100 yards to do that correlated with the game total unders. It's scary.
Yeah.
Would you rather do that or would you rather do Trey Benson receiving yards?
I think I'd rather do Trey Benson receiving yards. I think we're both confident on that as well.
Yeah, oh damn. JSN 88% of his what's it called? Red zone routes have come out wide. Cooper Kupp 44% in the slot. Elijah Arroyo 33% in the slot. I don't want to bet on a Cooper Kupp touchdown though. That's gross.
Yeah.
Arizona, in terms of their splits, Trey McBride 59% or 58% in the slot, 33% in line. Marvin Harrison 42% in the slot. That's more than I thought. Michael Wilson 40% in the slot. Greg Dortch is I'm wrong. He had one route from the backfield, one route out wide, and Elijah Higgins 67% from the slot. This one gets a little bit tougher in terms of the touchdown bet. Because for Seattle, we want to target in the air, but I feel like coming in, we wanted to target a Seattle player to score. But then when you look at the Arizona defense, 80% of the touchdowns they've allowed so far have been passing this year. But last year, they allowed one of the most or the highest percentage of rushing touchdowns. So that brings us to Kenny. We could just go Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny touchdown, Benson receiving yards, and game total under.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Let me see which book offers the best odds for that, and then I'll get it up for you guys. I am getting, I'll say, help from somebody placing it, so be patient with me. But we got the game starting in, 20 minutes? So if you don't want to wait on us, then don't. And touchdown prop, Kenny Walker. Kenny's plus money. That's surprising. We got AP in the chat. How we doing? Oh, DraftKings. Why isn't DraftKings doesn't have Trey Benson receiving yards?
They don't?
Right? Not at least it's not showing on Pickett. I actually can't check from here, so you might need to check on that for me. And FanDuel doesn't have the alt under. Damn, I didn't know the books got soft. Jesus Christ. What's happening? Oh, DraftKings has him at 22.5. That's why.
Yeah.
So why don't they just give me the alt line? Why is it telling me that there's just... All right. Let's do it. I'll get my guy to place for us. Anything else to share with the people while we wait on this, JJ?
I mean, during this game, I'm going to be researching a bunch of props, so I'll probably release something tonight in Substack.
Dude, same. Which, if we want, we can go over some of that now. The first one for me was Chargers -6.
Ooh.
It's Jackson Dart, first game in. Do you know that Justin Herbert in his last 11 games is a 3.5-point favorite? He's covered in all 11 games. Pretty
I did not know that.
And like that, bro. What are the Giants doing?
The Giants being the Giants.
If you're not going to start the rookie week 1, the plan is obviously to sit him. So then, in desperation, you're like, yeah, we're going to start him week 3. This is why you don't draft quarterbacks in like the 4th year of a regime that's failing, because bye JJ. All right, see you, dog. But back to what I was saying for the people that are still listening. Oh, he's back.
I hit the wrong.
Anyways, I'll say this is why you don't draft a quarterback in the 4th year of failing regime, because if they get on the hot seat, they can't stay patient, wait for the starting quarterback to keep shitting the bed while the backup develops behind the scenes. They have to try and save their job.
Yeah.
And now Jackson Dart's probably fucked, unless he's really him, which that changes things. I don't know.
He could be.
I'm not a draft evaluator by any means, so he could be, but he probably would have started week 1 if that was the case. I'm still waiting on this parlay to get sent to me. But for those who are just listening, all under at 47.5. You can play 44.5 if you want. I wanted the extra points. Kenneth Walker anytime touchdown, and Trey Benson 20 plus receiving yards. I think DraftKings has 22.5, which we might have to take because they have a 33% boost there. But yeah, those are the options. And then I think FanDuel, you can get the whole parlay, but you without the alt under, you need the actual under because they're soft. Don't ask me why. And then I'm on Trey Benson over rushing plus receiving yards. JJ's on his under rushing yards. So what we're doing is just taking his over receiving yards. And JJ's on JSN most receiving yards. You got a question in the chat from Mr. Tony.
Do I like JSN receptions? I mean, everything says he's going to get peppered with targets, right?
I don't know why you would stop if you're, what's his face?
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason not to.
I mean, yeah, I would have to like his receptions. I mean, I think it's going to be a JSN game, so especially if he's going to get most receiving yards, you would have to like receptions, right?
I mean, who's most outside of like a Marvin Harrison blow up game? It's really just Trey McBride is the real threat.
Yeah.
Which Trey McBride does not have nearly the ceiling that JSN does for like a single game receiving line. So
yeah, like everything's pointing towards a JSN funnel, so
yeah. Thoughts on both teams to score 17 points? I'm not gonna lie, I don't like that one. I think it's very likely we get like a 24-14 game where one team's up 17-14 and gets a touchdown at the end type of game.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be an ugly game. Great to watch, but not great scoring-wise. What's the first leg? It was an alt under at 47.5. You don't have to make it an alt. You can do 43.5, 44.5. But since we're doing a parlay, we have some room to work. So that's what we did. I fear that my guy is not responding for. Oh, actually, it says he's on. So we'll see. Anything else to cover?
I think that's it.
Oh, I have one other play for the weekend, actually. What was it? Jordan Mason, rushing yards ladder. Again, this guy's too good and is getting way too much volume for a 79.5 line is what I got. And I laddered up to 120. This dude just had 16 rush attempts for 116 yards in 3 quarters, mind you. Given 4 quarters against a Pittsburgh defense. I don't remember which filter I put. It was something I knew it related to him, but they were allowing the highest success rate in the NFL. Like they're getting this defense has not been great.
I'm guessing against zone runs.
I think so. Which, by the way, that's the other thing is, he was running a lot of man gap the first 2 weeks. I think the Minnesota offense as a whole was, and then they switched back to zone rush scheme last week, which he's more comfortable in. And one of the beat reporters for Minnesota basically said, like, it seems like that's what they're going to stick to. And, like, that was the plan to see how it worked, and it worked well. So I think they're just going to stick to that. That is all. I want to – my leans right now are Io Maynor for the Titans. His receiving yards, again, are still 33.5. I don't know why they keep doing that. What else? Also, Houston's a bad defense for wide receiver ones, so if Calvin Ridley gets shot down, somebody else has to do something.
Yeah.
What else? Jalen Hurts pass attempts is a very strong lean for me. I don't know if I'll have the balls to play it, but I mean, JJ, me and you have talked about how good that Bucs rushing defense is. If you can't run on them near the Philadelphia Eagles, 26.5 line is very low. Yeah, it's a 26.5 pass attempt line. So I'm like, okay. You can have one good drive and suddenly you're on pace. So I do like that. And guess what? We finally got the parlay on the screen. So there you go, guys. Here is the parlay. I will have it locked in. I was just getting it set for approval. But there you go. It's on DraftKings. It's on FanDuel, but you can't take the alternate under. So that's fine too. But yeah, let's make some money. Tony's saying he likes Monty's under for Sunday. Key thing I found, I think he said it on the I'm on Rob podcast, but he made a distinction between the new offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, basically saying that Ben Johnson had specific schemes that he was running, schemes in place that he was running for Gibbs and Monty. But this new offensive coordinator is kind of just saying, like, hey, you guys are going to switch turns, but you're going to run the same plays. I can't yet decide how I feel about Monty for that. But if he's breaking off more explosive runs because of that change, I could see it. And I also think that's why Gibbs is getting stuffed a little bit more. There's just been a lot more of a balance. So I assume it's more of a usage thing with you guys than it is a like matchup and scheme thing, but just something to keep in mind for people, because I think that I didn't see anybody else report it other than the podcast themselves.
That's good to know.
You took the alternate under on FanDuel. How? What was the odds you got on FanDuel? Because it wasn't showing up on Pickett. Because I know they had a 50% boost, but their SGP odds are also terrible. So I'm curious what you got there. Let me know. What else did I like real quick? Oh, Parker Washington, JJ. I know you liked that as well.
Yep. I am waiting for those Parker Washington lines.
All right. Let's call it.
Yeah, you go ahead and get you some sleep, boy.
Yeah. No, I'll be watching the game, don't worry. But appreciate everybody for tuning in. The hope is that I'll finally be back in the country tomorrow. We'll see. I don't want to jinx anything this time. But might be streaming again Sunday morning. We'll see. Again, don't want to get ahead of myself or anything. Otherwise, good luck on the plays for tonight. We'll see you guys on the next stream. Now that I'll be back home, we're going to be doing a lot more content, I promise. Even if JJ doesn't want to, I'll be doing it myself. Don't you worry.
I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, if you're on YouTube, make sure you like and follow. We will be doing a lot more on Twitch, so go check us out on Twitch as well. And yeah, keep supporting everywhere else. Go join JJ's Substack, join My Winnable. We'll see you guys in the next stream. Take care, everybody.